Well, hello everybody. This is meteorologist Andrew Pinero with this next sneaker video, and this is a special sneaker video. This is a 2020 recap. So, this is going to be from the very beginning of the year through December. We're going to go through those starting even before I got my first Yeezy. Still sticking with Adidas. But we're going to start at the very beginning of the year and go on through even some ones I don't have anymore that I did sell. So let's get started with that. So at the very beginning of the year, I'm thinking 2020. I need some new sneakers because at that point I really wasn't buying sneakers, and my main job, I work in a retail store. I am on my feet all the time. Again, this is going back pre-COVID, or as we're going to call it, BC, or before COVID times. But in that, I was like, okay, these shoes I was thinking, the shoes I'm wearing right now, they are 3 years old. The other shoes I wear, they are 5 years old. And there were some shoes I did have that were 10 years old. You should not be using 10-year-old shoes. They are worn out and they will cause problems with your feet. So I was thinking, okay, I should probably invest. New decade, 2020. Let's get some new shoes. And I was asking around, what are some comfortable shoes? And one of my managers in the store, he's a sneakerhead. And he was saying the Yeezys at that beginning, but he was saying how hard they are to get. You gotta wait in lines and camp out. I was like, okay, what else is there? Ultra Boost. The Ultra Boost 20. These are my first sneakers that had Boost in them. Not actually these in particular. So I have three here. I have the Black and Spirit, because the black one I don't have anymore. And we have the white one. Those are the first two I bought at the Adidas store by me. And then not too long after that, the International Space Station one. Now you might remember these because I did have a video that was on the Ultra Boost 20, a review of it. And that was earlier in the year, and that was actually one of my best videos of this entire year. I think it's actually my second best video of the channel. So quite an interest I had in there, and I was like, okay, maybe there's something to this sneaker game. So there we had it, the first group, the Ultra Boost 20 in black and white. I bought them at the same time. Now the other issue with that is make sure you get your shoe size correct. Because for the past few years, I've been using a size 12. And then my now fiance, when we first started dating and she saw my shoes, she was like, babe, those shoes are too big for you. She's like, you are not a size 12. During quarantine, pre-quarantine time framing, I was starting to think about that, and I measured my foot. There was a little, like, you draw your foot on a piece of paper. And no, I'm actually a 10 and a half. So that was quite a big size difference. So the original white and black ones that I bought in a size 12, I was stuck with them because that's when the shutdown started. Couldn't return them. So I held on to those. And then I picked up one in the right size. This I ordered from Adidas.com. This is probably one of my favorite Ultra Boost 20 just because of not just the sciencey part with the International Space Station, but the color of the midsole. So that was the beginning of my sneaker journey for this year, was purchasing the black and the white Ultra Boost 20, which over the summer I got into the right size. So black and white Ultra Boost 20. Then that was in March, early March. Then going into mid-March, I picked up the International Space Station. So that was starting the journey. Then we get into the Yeezys. All right, so starting with the Yeezys. I have heard the brand, before purchasing or doing any research about it, I've heard the brand before. I just didn't know much about them. I had no idea how hyped up the Yeezys are and how hard they are to get. You got to know the right way to get these sneakers. Otherwise, you are paying resale, which in some cases can get up near the $800, $1,000 mark. They don't get that high anymore. They are harder to get. You can't just go to the store and pick up a pair of Yeezys. So I learned how to do it and I tried. And the very, very first pair of Yeezys I ever got is this. This is the Cinder. Yeezy 350 V2 Cinder. These are the most iconic Yeezys out there. The 350 V2. And this Cinder colorway is nice. It's not black. It is a dark gray cinder. So you can think of it as kind of like charcoal ash. Kind of like dark charcoal ash. That's what I was thinking of with these. That's the name Cinder. And these are very comfortable. These are the softest heel out of any sneaker I've ever tried. The heel is so squishy. These feel very much like a slip-on. A sneaker that is a slip-on, which is really cool. And I think that's what Kanye West was going for, was sneakers that you can just throw on. You don't have to lace up and unlace every time. But that was my first pair. And these are a size 12. Going back to what I was saying, the Ultra Boost section, I thought I was still a size 12 at that point. So these I picked up as a 12. And unfortunately, with Yeezys, once the raffle or however these are sold, that's done, they're sold out. That is it. There may be a restock a little bit later that day, and then they may hold these for a restock another time, like the Zebras, for instance. That is one of the most, or the most iconic colorway. But you can't just return these and exchange these for a different size. So I was kind of stuck with the size 12. And if I wanted to sell these on the resale market and then buy them again, especially through like an app called StockX, you're paying processing fees and transaction fees. So I would be losing money exchanging these from a 12 to my proper size, which for these you usually go up a half size because the toe is narrow. So I get these in my 11. That's my normal Yeezy size. Half size up from my 10.5. So I was stuck with the 12. But overall, because these are very sock-like and slipper-like, it's okay. It's totally fine. And because these are fairly flat, your foot doesn't slide too much in there unless, if they were arched. Like the next one we're talking about, if they were arched and they're the wrong size, which is what I was experiencing with the Ultra Boost and the 12. They were arched and they were hurting the middle of my foot because the arch of the heel was so much in the wrong spot. So these are pretty good. I still really enjoy these Cinders. Then I'm around the 380, the Yeezy Boost 380. Now this is only the second colorway, and the colorway is basically just the style, the color style of this particular model. So the 380, this is only the second one. I missed out on the first colorway of the 380, which was the Aliens. Now the Aliens, they were, I believe they were what's called a shock drop, which is a random release on the Yeezy Supply website. And not everybody was able to get them, and that's why they are still the highest resale market value, 380. Then came these. I really like these. I unboxed these live in camera, just like this. Okay. Got that nice smell. Ooh, I actually really like this. Oh, they're so light, too. And I really enjoyed them. This is probably my most worn sneaker of this entire year, is this specific one, the 380 Mist. And I really like this. And overall, for comfort, an overall package of a sneaker, I'd have to say the 380 is the most comfortable sneaker I have ever worn. The heel is not as squishy as the 350 because you got that big booty on the heel. So it's not as squishy, but it's still very soft. And you have this little incline there. so it's easier when walking. Sometimes, especially in a size that's a little bit too large for you, when you're walking, you can drag the heel a little bit on the ground. With this, that won't happen because of that incline. And that also helps cradle your heel, which is what I feel like this. This is a sock-like shoe, just like the Ultra Boost, except the Ultra Boost is designed to be performance. These are casual performance, kind of, like a hybrid, but they're more of a casual form-fitting shoe. All of this is stretchy, like this really stretches out like a sock. And this fits just like you're sliding on a sock on your feet with this sneaker. And the way it fits over my foot, this is the most comfortable sneaker I have ever worn, these 380s. So this is my #1 sneaker that I'm gonna be looking at if I'm getting any other colors, which we have some more here. So let's talk about those a little bit later on, but let's get through the rest of the lineup for the Yeezys.